Well, as we recover from that last fight, ladies and gentlemen, let's lead into our next Tale of the Tape lightweight bout. This bout is proudly presented by the Little Bistro. We have Marko up against Youcef. The Tale of the Tape details and stats are all on the screen right now. Age, height, weight, and records. Both heading into this bout, which is proudly sponsored by the Little Bistro.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your co-main event of the evening and is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds at a professional catch weight of 73 kilos. This fight is sponsored by the Little Bistro. Introducing your first fighter, fighting out of the blue corner, representing Hula Martial Arts, presenting Youcef Oukacine. Introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, representing Morris Martial Arts, presenting Marko Boychuk. go, ladies and gentlemen. This is your co-main event of the evening, a professional bout at a catch weight of 73 kilos. Both gentlemen making their professional debuts. Youcef Oukacine out of Houlihan Martial Arts taking on Marko Boychuk of Morris Martial Arts.
I'm still trying to
compose yourself.
Yeah, from that last fight, I'm lost for words, really.
Yeah, these boys have a lot to live up to.
Boy, maybe they don't.
Three 5-minute rounds, should we need them. Elbows are legal, knees to the head are legal. The International Mixed Martial Arts Commission has adopted the new ruling on the grounded opponent and the 12-6 elbow.
Yeah. Marko being the more active fighter currently. Youcef just taking his time.
Originally from the Ukraine, he is a European Taekwondo champion.
Oh, lovely little combo there by Marko.
Taekwondo black belt of the second dan variety.
Okay.
Master of Sports in Taekwondo and a Master of Sport in Kickboxing. On the transverse of that, Youcef Oukacine finished his amateur career picking up a national title. Also spent a little bit of time out in Thailand sharpening the tools.
Seems like we're looking at a kickboxing match happening right now here.
I'm not mad at it.
Me neither. I'm all for it.
Nice leg kicks being thrown by, but then reply. Whip on those.
And that one sounded a little bit more aggressive.
You get the feeling that, you know, Youcef has the advantage with regards to the reach and the distance.
Oh, bit of an accidental low kick there now from Marko. They're going to take a second here. No, Youcef happy enough to just get straight back to it.
Garland's just making sure.
Yeah, doing that refereeing thing that he does. Here we go.
I'd like to see Youcef be a little bit more active with the jab.
Yeah, I agree. He's not really throwing much at the minute.
The aggressiveness from Boychuk is fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, again, to the uninitiated, you would think he's at a disadvantage being a shorter fighter, but that Taekwondo background, you know, that's equipped him with some serious tools, but he eats a big hook.
Oh, yeah, he did eat a little bit of a shot there on the way in. Now Youcef sort of starting to find his range a little bit and pick his shots off. We can hear Paddy Houlihan.
Oh, Houlihan, you just making names up.
Did I say oh? I probably did, yeah. I made him more Irish, as if he needed that in his name, with a name like Paddy Houlihan.
He's a wonderfully engaging cornerman to listen to.
Absolutely, you're completely right.
Not just top-notch talent, but some of the wee motivational quips he's out with. Boychuk doing a great job closing the distance, trying to get in on a takedown.
This is the first grappling action we're seeing between the two men in this fight.
Trying to get in on that single leg.
Youcef doing good defense here.
Great defense.
Yeah, very skilled defense from Youcef. And now he turns it round on him, but Marko turns it right back and goes back to the takedown again.
Trying to bring that base up of Marko.
Youcef again.
He's defending well. He's forcing Marko to expel a lot of energy, which could pay dividends if the fight does go into the later rounds.
Yeah, I think you're right there for sure. Youcef's happy enough to take a little rest here, I believe.
Yeah, because actually, Marko's expelling more energy trying to get the takedown than Youcef is defending it.
Yep, you're completely right. If I were Marko, I would probably abandon this at the minute because it doesn't seem like he's going to get a finished takedown.
And it was a pretty close fight on the feet up until this point.
Oh, totally, yeah.
And no longer just pressing an opponent against the cage will win you around, you know?
Now, this is where Youcef takes the advantage and has that freshness and cardio that he's just zapped away from Marko to turn him around with ease.
Trying to force that separation. But Marko's strong as a bull.
Yeah, and that's turned back around from Marko. Corners are calling for an outside trip.
You wonder in between rounds just how much this type of output is taken out of Marko.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he comes out again in the second round, if his shots still have the pop. Again, Youcef.
Because, you know, I have to call a spade here. He is the more muscled fighter.
Yeah.
And so those Those muscles need a lot of blood to pump around and keep him active.
And there he was, Phil, trying to explode and lift Youcef up, but he just couldn't quite get it, and that is expelling a lot of strength.
Right, this is what GSP used to do. You know, he used to force the grappling exchange in the first round to tire out the muscles of his opponent, and he would almost bait them into trying to take him down.
And we've 10 seconds to go. Can any fighter really put a stamp on the end of this round? Youcef trying to go for a high knee there, and that brings us to the first round. Do you know what, Phil? We almost needed a round like that after the fight we just saw. It was good to settle back in again, right?
I'll be honest, I don't know if you can hear, but my voice is going a wee bit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, yeah, I've just completely ruined a week's worth of gigs now with that last fight, but it's worth it.
Not only that, I'm absolutely knackered.
Yeah. Imagine how they must feel.
It's not about them, it's about me.
That is true, it is about you. If you're joining us live, Phil Campbell, Aaron Butler on the commentary here right now.
Having a lovely time. Speaking of having a lovely time, these two men inside the cage are doing what they love to do. Marko Boychuk, it'll be interesting to see his approach when he comes out for the second round here. Like I say, I would love to see Youcef start working that jab a little bit.
Yeah, I think Youcef, once he settled into the second half of that fight, when he was getting the strikes off, he was starting to pick his shots a lot better. He was starting to read Marko a little bit more. Marko's advantage when he was striking, he was great at putting combos together. He was stringing together 3-4 shots, mixing up kicks of leg. But again, it's all going to play out now in this second round, and we'll see how it all transpires.
Authoritative clap from referee Garlines.
Is that what he's got, or is that what he did? So there he goes now.
Marko firing out some beautiful leg kicks, and again, that Taekwondo influence, that second Dan black belt is showing up in spades here.
Yep. Youcef looking a little bit more confident here, and there he got a nice little strike. Marko using some lateral movement. Oh, get some nice shots off there on Youcef.
Well, it must be said, you know, Youcef is taking this fight on relatively short notice.
Right.
Boychuk was originally meant to fight Maga Zarabov. So again, you know, Boychuk was preparing for a different opponent. Oukacine wasn't expecting to make his pro debut.
Yeah, it all factors in. Oh.
Still relatively light on the feet is Boychuk.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, tornado kick.
Well, speaking of.
And now it is Oukacine forcing the grappling.
Yep, it's Youcef's turn. Youcef with those strong underhooks.
Oh, but good job by Boychuk to try and reverse the position. The only saving grace is Youcef has double underhooks.
Yep, and he's now, I think, connected the hands a little bit better. No, he seems to be separated. Paddy Houlihan shouting for knees right now.
I think Youcef's trying to score a trip here.
Yeah, he's separating those legs a little bit, widening the base.
A very grappling heavy fight.
Big
takedown.
There he goes, he gets it down.
First real takedown of the fight.
Yep.
Oukacine trying to transition into the mount, but look at the strength and tenacity of Boychuk.
Yeah, Marko does a great job there to end up on top. Youcef now looking to get back to the feet. Now,
this very much the latter part of this round playing out very much like the first round.
Yep, you're right. Now let's see if Marko can.
Trying to get that single. But there it is.
He gets him again. Oh, a little bit of cage grab in the corner, shouting it. And Marko now peppering in some strikes as Youcef gets back to the feet. Youcef turns Marko round.
There is space to be filled with knees there. Good defense from Youcef. Turning defense into attack. He's the one now pressuring Boychuk against the cage.
A lot of back and forth here. A lot of swapping positions between both men.
Very grappling heavy.
Yeah, which such a change from the first round when they were mostly on the feet.
Yeah. Both
men taking somewhat of a rest break.
Boychuk trying to score that double, but the defense of Youcef has pretty much been on point, apart from that one takedown, which he popped right back up from.
Yeah, and I do think Youcef's breathing a little bit heavier now.
Well, again, you would expect that, having taken his pro debut on short notice.
And also trying to implement some takedowns of his own is obviously taking its toll a little bit.
And again, for both guys making their pro debut, they're used to fighting 3 3-minute rounds.
That's true.
That addition of 2 minutes on their round, crazy.
You do forget that going from one to the other does
huge transition.
Face a challenge for both men.
But watch Youcef.
Youcef's being sneaky here.
Neither fighter has really utilized elbows.
No, that's a good point.
Or knees to the head, should they have them?
Yeah, now there's a little knee to the inside leg of Youcef. Marko seems to have good energy here, just holding up, and we get a break in the action.
I think that's fair.
I think so too. I think it was a good idea.
50 seconds to go. You know, if one of these fighters can land a real definitive shot, they're going to win the round.
Yeah,
because it is so close.
You're right. Youcef's looking for it. You can see there. He's got Marko up against the cage. Marko's definitely using that lateral.
That's better from Youcef.
Yeah, Marko needs to keep. He can't be a static target here for Youcef. He has to keep laterally moving around the cage.
Oh, that's a nice straight shot from Youcef.
Because as soon as he takes a break, Youcef taking a punch there. And giving one right back,
This is much better for Oukacine.
Yeah.
He's got Boychuk on the retreat.
Marko has definitely slowed that head movement down a little bit. He's evading a little bit slower.
Oh, jumping knee attempt. I think it's an amalgam of fatigue and a few shots landed there.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The grappling in the first 2 rounds is definitely starting to wear a little bit on Marko.
Now, this is where it gets really intriguing going into the 3rd round.
Yeah, it's very difficult.
And even just look at the body language of Marko. He looks very, very tired.
Yeah, and look,
rightfully so, because he's expelled a lot of energy. I'm not saying he's not conditioned by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just saying he has expelled so much energy.
And all credit to Youcef coming in on short notice and still hanging in there in the 3rd round. We look at some replays here, some highlights from the action. Youcef just missing with a kick there. And Marko. There's Paddy Houlihan now, Irish MMA legend.
Doing everything he can to try and motivate his fighter.
And I'm doing everything I can not to call him Paddy O'Houlihan. I think he should change his name, if I'm being honest. It's a much better... Look, tell me I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
No, Paddy O'Houlihan's so much cuter, right?
Wow.
The much love to Paddy, to be fair.
No, I just want to make it abundantly clear that was Aaron Butler said that.
Guys, I'm a comedian. I don't know what I'm doing. Please don't anyone beat me up after this broadcast. I love everybody. All right.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen, 3rd and final round. And you're getting to the stage of who wants it more in a very, very close fight.
Yeah, it is a really close fight. I would not want to be scoring this one, to be honest. And both men extremely sweaty. Our referee there just towing them off a little bit.
3rd and final round of what has been a knife-edge style fight.
Yeah, it really has. It feels like at any minute now, just someone could take over. Both men sweating profusely.
I don't know about profusely, but they're definitely sweating a lot.
What's profusely mean?
A lot.
Oh. I thought I got it wrong. I was like, oh no, I've said something wrong again. Both men clash here, and Youcef ends up pinning Marko against the cage.
Like I said, I would love to see Youcef really start working that jab, keep his opponent at distance, start to pick him off. Beautiful work from Oukacine.
I was going to say there, he did a very smart thing there. He broke apart. He wasn't engaging in the grappling. He was like, he's having success on the feet here.
Yeah, and you get the feeling that as long as the fight stays in this kind of realm, Youcef Oukacine's going to be on the front foot. Oh, beautiful work.
Oh, wow, he's really picking his shots nicely now.
He's starting to turn it up. Oh, that's a great shot once again. Oukacine seems to have been completely revitalized by this.
Yeah, Marko is getting more and more tired as the strikes go on.
Again, just great distance management by Youcef Oukacine.
Yeah, Youcef really making Marko have to move around the cage, and that is tiring him out even more.
Oh, another great shot. And I love that Oukacine isn't crowding his work. He's landing his shots, he's reassessing.
Yeah.
Watch out for
a little bit
potential.
of a choke here, a little bit of a choke. But no, he's back. Yeah, I think.
It is a tiring war of attrition. A different kind of war than we've seen in our previous fight, but a war nonetheless.
Absolutely. Marko really having to be efficient with his energy here heading into this final round. He's looking up at the clock there, I think. Wow.
Scores the takedown, but he has to do something with it.
Yep, and they're both very slippery at this point, so Youcef just slides out of it. Someone's lost a gum shield. I think it's Youcef. Ref looking for a break in the action.
He's going to keep them in that position, I think.
Yep.
There it is.
And on they go. Good refereeing there.
Final 2 minutes 30 of the round, and indeed the fight. You get the feeling as this fight has gone on, Youcef has grown into it more and more to the point where he's putting on quite a commanding performance here in the third round.
Yeah, I would have loved to have seen if Youcef had a full camp and a full, he wasn't on short notice. But these are the cards you're dealt sometimes, and you just got to roll with the punches, and that is what Youcef has been doing this fight.
To be this deep into the third round of your professional debut on short notice, it's incredible.
Yeah, that's insane. You do have to remind yourself that it is the pro debuts of both fighters.
Yep.
Oh, nice little launch in there by Marko.
Oh, it's a big straight though. That's what I mean. When Youcef keeps it in this range, it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's his fight all day. Oh, nice counter there from Marko, getting the respect.
Final 90 seconds. You can see fatigue really starting to come in here for Boychuk, and I'm sure Youcef.
Because it is such a close fight as well, you got to imagine both fighters are looking to put a real definitive stamp on this.
Boychuk trying to score the takedown.
Youcef.
This is better. This is the first real utilization of elbows we've seen.
Yep. And Paddy asking for more elbows from his fighter. And
Youcef trying to split that base.
Yep. Little elbow to the side there.
Even though he's the one being pinned against the fence, he's being proactive with the shots, which is great to see.
Yeah.
Absolutely great to see.
Yep, absolutely. Marko just sort of stalling a little bit.
Yeah.
Not able to get much of any offense off here. Both men showing tremendous heart and courage here, leaving it all in the cage.
Oh, it's a beautiful knee to the solar plexus.
Lovely knee to the body there by Youcef. Another knee there. And here he goes now. He's unleashing. Nice shot. Last 10 seconds. Both men meet in the middle and swing for all they've got. Will someone be able to put an ending on this?
Sort of swing and a miss.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Hail Mary there from Marko.
Great
Tremendous fight.
Great fight.
Oh, Marko hit it. Here's a replay now of some of the final moments of the fight. Youcef there throwing the teeth, just missing. Marko. Whoo. The sweat flying from both men. Youcef on top of the cage there, demonstrating. Wow, here we go. Here's another replay. Marko, a little bit of a miss there. Youcef, oh, that was the last kick that he threw. Just going for broke, really. Youcef with a kick of his own, it glances off. Be interesting to see how the judges score this one. Very difficult fight to score. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a split decision here, if I'm being honest. Tremendous heart from both fighters. It is unbelievable. And Celtic kid in the middle of the cage. You love to see it. I don't know why. There's just something really smacked out of it wearing a Celtic kit, but I love it.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to your judges' scorecards. All 3 judges have scored the bout 29-28 in favor of your winner. Fighting out of the red corner, Marko Boychuk.